the first of the Canadians.
The 2011 national champion, a silver medal in Yokohama with his partner. Let's say hello to the gentleman, Benjamin Saxton!
And Ben Saxton from Calgary, Alberta, hoping that the crowd can lift him and the Canadian game to cause a big upset in this second semi-final.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get excited. A mid-match semi-final. Winner goes to the gold medal match.
$100,000 US in prize money, 50,000 to the silver medalists, 20,000 to the bronze medalist. The Brazilians unbeaten in this competition so far, 3 from 3 to reach these semi-finals. Been a tougher route for Canada, who lost their opener against Tri-Born and John Hayden from the United States of America. The Canadians win the toss, put Brazil into serve. Schalk looks to put the first point on the board. And that is out of play. The first point, I should say, goes to Brazil.
That's what Canada has to look out for, unforced errors. Make Brazil earn every point. When I say make them earn the point, keep the ball in play. Don't hit it out, don't hit it in the net. If Brazil beats you, that's great, but you cannot let them jump on top of you. Bruno ripping an ace right down the middle between Saxton and Schalk.
What a near perfect start from Bruno Oscar Schmidt. First touch of the ball, service ace. Saxton sets the ball for Schalk. And look at the power and skill and timing of Alison at the net there. What a 3-0 down, and they're not letting the Canadians get into this match at all in the early exchanges.
What's incredible about that is the Canadians, they vary their speeds. They tried to shoot that ball outside and trick Alison, but he wasn't having anything of it. He's moving laterally so well right now. There's a cross-court bang by Schalk, and the Brazilians, they have shown early on they're going to be stingy with their court. It's going to be difficult to get the ball down on their side.
Yeah, so important for Canada to get that first point on the board. Schalk with a little float serve. Set from Bruno and Alison again. They've warmed up well, haven't they, the Brazilians? They've come out in these first exchanges, firing on all cylinders. Very few errors, accuracy, near perfection.
Well, they're playing like Olympic champions. You know, they have great chemistry. They're so ready to go on that first whistle. They're not working their way into this match. They have broken it. They're playing like Olympic champions. You know, they have great chemistry. They're so ready to go on that first whistle. They're not working their way into this match. They have broken a good sweat before this match starts, and you can tell that they are ready. Look at Alison up, and he's not getting tooled. He's pressing right back into the meat of the court. There's just nowhere to go right there for Schalk.
2 sensational blocks in the early exchanges here. Alison with service for Brazil. Already 4 points clear. Oh, good to see Ben Saxton get his arm swing in. We're beginning to think that he wasn't on the court for a split second there. Good shot from Ben.
You know, and that's by design. The Brazilians right now targeting Schalk. Ben Saxton's going to have to try to relieve the pressure, maybe go on 2 every once in a while. There you see the spike speed, 79 kilometers per hour for that last hit by Ben Saxton.
Good service from Saxton to Alison. Alison now on the attack for Brazil. Over the top of the block. But the first forced error on the Brazilians by Canada allows them to close that gap to just 2. After a little bit of a scary start, Canada start to settle their game.
You don't see that very often. Bruno missing a line shot. He's usually very accurate. And, you know, I don't mind Ben Saxton missing that serve. I want to see them ripping it. I don't care if they have 10 service errors. Try to rip it, try to get some aces, because if you serve this Brazilian team easy, it's going to be a long day.
And a good arm swing and spike from Schalk.
It's a big rip cross court. Remember, Bruno Oscar Schmidt, the best defensive player in the world, voted by his peers in 2015.
Alison on the attack. Oh, showing that it's not all about power and boom and bang on the ball. Nice little touch and pokey from Alison over the top of the block.
Alison, he has matured tremendously over the years. Remember, we forget so quickly he played with a great Emmanuel in 2012 and brought home the silver medal in London for Brazil. And right now, his newly crowned shiny Olympic gold medal that he won on the home sand of Rio. This guy has improved tremendously, and he is such an intimidating force at the net. 2 missed shots now for Bruno, who is usually like a surgeon out on that court, placing the ball exactly where he wants to, but we've seen that he's a little off. He's got to recalibrate that arm.
Ben Saxton serves for Canada. Little touch off the net, but Alison still times it nicely and powers that ball into the fingertips of Ben Saxton. 4 points clear now, Brazil at 9-5. Quick side switch with a total of 14 scored on the board. Bruno Schmidt with service for Brazil. Serves Ben Saxton this time, mixing it up, the Brazilians. And Saxton puts it away nicely. Perhaps it's a better tactic for Brazil to serve Schalk rather than the big man from Calgary.
Not sure about that. Going to Ben Saxton there after they've had so much success versus Schalk.
A little bit of luck for Brazil. They'll take every point they can. Remember, they're the Tour Finals defending champions.
And Bruno will take whatever he can get right now. He's missed a couple of shots. That one not too crisp like he's used to. A little trickle, he'll take the point.
Line!
Oh, what an amazing save from Bruno Schmidt. Oh, and a shank on the bump pass from Ben Saxton. He will kick himself for that one.
Yeah, that right there, it's just unacceptable. And Ben Saxton knows it. He's probably the most disappointed of all, but if you're going to win against a great team and win a semifinal, you got to be able to handle those free balls regardless of the spin.
Good shot from Schalk and a good bounce back from Canada.
That's going to be key, recovering at times, not giving away bunches of points, but as we've seen early on, Brazil has already done some damage, up by 4.
Alison sets for Bruno Schmidt. Great save from Schalk. Bruno Schmidt tries again, this time with a little bit of class on the shot. Little touch there, beautiful to watch. Schalk thought he was doing exactly the same play as the previous one he saved.
That's the thing with Bruno, you cannot give that guy too many opportunities during a rally because he is going to make you pay, usually on the first time, but if you give him 2 chances, for sure on the second.
No, cut. Good shot.
Another good shot from Schalk. Valuable point on the board for Canada, trailing the Brazilians by 4. Still a hunt here in the opening set.
Really like the communication by Canada. That last play, Ben Saxton saying line, then changing to cut at the last second. When you set your partner, you want to give a call, and Alison, he's long right there, so kind of chipping at the lead now, just a 3-point lead for Brazil.
Total of 21 points scored. It's a technical timeout. Each of the teams can call their own timeout, but the rule book says there is 1 technical timeout per set. And that was an important or valuable point for Canada to pick up going into this break.
You hear us say side out very often. Siding out is when the receiving team wins the point. There's the pass, the set, and there's a hit for the put away. On this example here, Brazil serving Canada. So Canada in a side out situation. There's the pass, the set. Schalk puts the ball away for the point. A side out is when the non-serving team wins the rally. It doesn't have to happen on the first reception. As long as they win the rally, that's considered a side out. The Brazilians up 12-9 here in set number 1.
Of course, beach volleyball, it's a rally ball scoring system. That's a great shot there of Hannes Jägerhofer, the CEO of the beach major company responsible for bringing international volleyball back to Toronto after 16 years. So good to be back here in Canada with the tour. Now let's see if the Canadian dream can be fulfilled here on centre court. Oh, and Ben Saxton, he was in position, he thought he got the block, just couldn't convert.
Interesting seeing Hannes Jägerhofer. You know, we've been good friends forever. Back in '98 was the first time I played in his event in Austria, in Klagenfurt, and it is just incredible how he's expanded his property. Great up by Bruno. And that's been the story of the day with Bruno. He has just been a little bit off hitting that ball in the bottom of the net. But about the major series, always the question was, could Hannes replicate and take the formula that he had in Klagenfurt worldwide? And I think the answer is yes, as we're seeing this party begin here, Sunday final here in Toronto.
Oh, that is a better shot after a couple of frustrating attacks from Bruno Schmidt. That's the skill of the player. That's why they're the Olympic and world champions. A couple of shots go wrong, they recompose and put it right as quick as you can think. Serves short to Saxton. Saxton on the attack for Canada. Bruno and Alison are now 5 points clear again. Alison, lovely timing at the net.
That was intimidation. What an incredible block. Look at the delayed timing by Alison. He gets up and just throws this thing right back on the Canadian side. That was an incredible block.
Good play from Schalk of Canada. Deciding to go over on 2 is a risky play, but it pays dividends for the boys in red and white.
Solid play by Schalk, making sure that Brazil doesn't get on a run after that big, powerful block by Alison.
Schalk serves at Alison. Here comes the big man on the attack. Oh, and Ben Saxton finally gets that block to work, and it starts to work at such a crucial point in this opening set.
Alison loves to bang that ball cross court. That's his signature hit. But finally, Ben Saxton, who we know can go on a run as a blocker, gets one down.
2 down for Ben Saxton. Nothing better than 2 blocks in succession against the Olympic champion, against the best defensive player in the world. And Ben Saxton, after some disappointing work at the net, finally goes into overdrive.
Just like I said, he can get on a run. He is very dangerous. I've seen him block 3 and 4 balls in a row. So you better watch out, Alison. You better bring out your finesse instead of trying to overpower.
Well, he gets the 3rd one away. You get the feeling that he'd keep trying and going at the Canadians until he got one.
Well, that's the scary thing about Alison. This guy's 6'8", 242 pounds. He's like a linebacker in American football. He's huge, he's intimidating, and you can see he doesn't let off. He just keeps coming strong, and right there, a beautiful high roll shot by Schalk. You know, it's gonna come down to Schalk. Can he side out consistently? Because early on in this set, we've found it to be evident that the Brazilians are going to target him all day long.
There's a great serve receive from Alison, who now goes up against Saxton, the net again, and this time the Brazilian comes out on top. Dane, there are some lovely stories coming out of Rio last month of Alison being mistaken by some of the foreign journalists as the Brazilian light heavyweight boxer rather than their beach volleyball player. Such is the physique of the Brazilian. Here's Ben Saxton with a lovely set for Schalk. Oh, Alison is at the net, trying to keep their cool, but Alison Two beautiful blocks, and now Brazil start to take control of this opening set.
Just incredible. He's putting on a clinic right now as a blocker. Look at his impeccable timing. He's waiting. He knows that set's off the net. And then the Canadians get a second opportunity, and look at him jump into the angle of Kame's shot. That's some frustration right there when it seems as if there's a wall up at the net. Alison making some spectacular blocking moves. The Canadians going to have to make the adjustment. Maybe challenge Bruno in the backcourt rather than Alison at the net.
Oh, a spectacular save from Schalk. And again, the Canadian defense is absolutely perfect here. And they are absolutely delighted to pick up the point there. Determination, concentration, and sheer grit keeps Canada in this first set.
Really solid rally, and the crowd finally getting into it, trying to get their home team, Schalk and Saxton, back in the mix, trailing by 3.
Schalk serves. Again, they stick to the plan of going for Alison, who will now attack. Oh, little touch shot, doesn't work. Chance for Canada to come again here. Alison is there at the net. They're going to have to, as our expert and Olympic champion in the commentary box has pointed out, is go deeper. Go to the back of the court for Bruno, because Alison has built a wall above that net, stopping Canada getting over.
Yeah, anything a couple of feet over the net is getting blocked. They have to break out some roll shots. They have to get creative and maybe try to challenge Bruno in the backcourt.
Wow. Set point for Brazil.
So even when he doesn't get the block, he gets the touch in the air, giving Bruno a little more time to run the ball down, and then puts that ball away. So complete domination at the net for big Alison. If you can believe it, he's already got 5 stuff blocks, and we are not finished with the first set.
Canada have called a timeout, a break in proceedings, trying to stop the rhythm of Brazil. Look at that spike speed on screen, 87 kilometers per hour.
And that last one was from off the net. Remember, he touched it. Bruno set him from way back in the court. So that's not even his super powerful hit, but it goes to show you that he can create tremendous velocity from pretty much anywhere on the court.
Dane, quick tactical question for you. If you're Canada, Schalk, Ben Saxton right now, do you start to turn your attentions to a tactical play for the second set, or do you still keep that self-belief and try to hold on to this first? Let's not forget that they're at set point, the Brazilians.
Yeah, you fight as hard as you can, because anything can happen. You can come back from 5 down. It's not very probable, but it is possible. But more importantly, they just need to kind of change their strategy. I like how aggressive they've been up to this point, but it's just not working trying to power through the big Alison. They have to get a little smarter and get a little more creative.
Schalk attacks for Canada. Alison is there at the block. The timeout did not help Canada. First set goes 21-15. Brazil and the Olympic champions comfortably in control of the opener here on center court.
That was a clinic, let me tell you, Nick. It was a blocking clinic by Alison, maybe one of his best blocking sets that I have seen. 6 stuff blocks, and they're targeting Schalk, and right now he's got to be very frustrated. I like his approach, though. He's been aggressive against Alison, but if you look back at this set, that aggression and trying to power through him is just not working. At least it's not working today. So try to place some shots in the backcourt and try to test Bruno, possibly, who seems a little more off his game. We've seen Bruno miss a couple of shots. We've seen him kind of mishandle some sets. So maybe test him in the backcourt. 6 blocks for Alison, 2 for Ben Saxton on the Canadian side. It's a big difference right there. And Schalk's going to have to recompose himself and basically reset.
Well, a spectacular view of the Toronto downtown skyline here from Paulson Pier. But in centre court, the crowd are doing everything that they can to try and lift Canada to win this second set. They have to win it to try and take the match to a 3-setter. But if you look back in history, the 8 times these two teams have met, Brazil have beat Canada 7-1. It will take something very special, quite magical, for Canada to get the better of the Olympic champions here right now. There were glimpses of brilliance from Canada in that opening set. They just need to expand it for a longer point run.
And that's been the big question with Canada. They play some spectacular volleyball at time, but they have, as my old college coach Marv Dunphy used to tell me, they have too many peaks and valleys. They're really good at times, and then they have some trouble with some unforced errors. You want to have a more consistent graph. And if they can work out that consistency, they're going to be on top of their game. That all began with a tough serve, and then Saxton crushing it on the overpass.
Another good service from Ben Saxton. Bruno Schmidt attacks. Oh, and it's a great save from Schalk. Can he finish it? Second attempt from Bruno Schmidt. This time gets the angle, cross court.
Great effort right there by Canada, laying it out. Good set from off the net. And I like how they didn't challenge Alison on that. They tried to go to the deep court, but that time Bruno got the best. Was a little off balance, but then he finished it up strong.
There's a lovely shot, and that's possibly one of the shots that we need to see more of from Canada. Over the top of the block of Alison.
No, it's imperative that he does that, because the power shot's not working, and you don't want to continue to challenge Alison. So I like the shots to the deep court, challenging Bruno.
Go, go.
Good cut, but well read by Schalk, who now attacks for Canada. Alison is there again with the block. Here comes Ben Saxton, and another amazing block. You called it earlier.
Oh my goodness.
This could quite possibly be one of his best stats that we've seen all season long for Alison, excuse me, at the net.
It's incredible. I mean, he's blocking multiple balls in a rally. The first couple the Canadians are covering, but then he gets up again. And look at his form, it's perfect. Those extended arms, he's pressing over the net. There's no room between him and the net. It is a blocking clinic so far.
Oh, and it's a service ace. That's 7 total points on the scoreboard now. A quick side switch, 4-3. That is what makes the Brazilian team so exciting and so successful. When you think that the opposition is found the answer, has found a little nook or cranny to explore. Wham! Service ace, and they're back in the lead again, Brazil. Oh, Ben Saxton, lifted by the crowd, ties the scores. Here is Saxton with service. It's a good big serve to Bruno Schmidt. Nice angle on the ball, but it's well read by Schalk. Schalk now attacks over the top again of Alison, right down the line. Canada take the lead 5-4.
Schalk read that ball perfectly. Look at him run it. He gets 2 hands on it. Gets up to his feet, a nice double arm lift, no block at the net as Alison retreats, and he puts it away. A beautiful play.
Oh, that's a wild service from Saxton.
Nick, this is what I'm talking about right here. You score a point, you make a great play, and then you shoot yourself in the foot by hitting the ball out of bounds. You have to keep that ball in play. It's too erratic, too up and down. You have to stay consistent, especially against Brazil.
That's a better shot from Canada's Ben Saxton, the 27-year-old out of Calgary. We need to see more of that.
You got to earn these points right here. I like them going for their serve, but keep it in. Put some pressure on Brazil. Try to make them uncomfortable. There's a nice serve.
Oh, almost there. Great shot from Bruno Schmidt. Drills it right to the feet of Schalk. Just almost found the dig. Just a split second too late.
Yeah, I like that play right there. I thought they were set up perfectly. Just couldn't execute the dig.
Saxton sets the ball for Schalk. Oh, and it's a little too deep. The thought was there. That's the kind of play that's going to bring the points consistently to Canada, but it was just a little too long.
I like it. Challenging Bruno in the backcourt. You know, you miss a couple, that's all right. But anything but getting blocked more by Alison. That is kind of played out. 7 stuff blocks already for Alison.
Oh, that's the second time. Puts the hand up in the air as a sportsmanly gesture to say it wasn't meant to go like that. But 2 tricklers over the net from Bruno Schmidt in this men's semi-final at semi-quarter. Paulson Pier give Brazil a 2-point advantage at 8-6, having won the first set 21-15. Great play from Schalk of Canada. Valuable point. Big side out.
Really nice hit by Schalk. Took a little off it there. Didn't try to just go through the block. He placed it with some nice heat.
Saxton with service. Too deep. Brave attempt at the ace, but didn't quite pull it off. Brazil maintain their 2-point advantage. Canada have to win the second set to stay in the match. Good play by Canada. Great shot from Ben Saxton.
Great hit there by Ben Saxton, getting that ball to the ground. And Canada's in a great spot right now. They're hanging tough despite all the blocks with Alison at the net. They just need to put together a couple of runs of points, give themselves the best opportunity.
Another power play from Alison.
He's really gone for it. Alison, that's what he did. I mean, look at the block is perfect by Ben Saxton. It just happens to squeak through his arms, and that's what happens when you hit the ball so hard. You know, in the Olympic Games, when he hurt his ankle, the way he got out of trouble, Alison, was to continue to hit as hard as possible. That's kind of his signature play.
Oh. Showing superb speed of movement. Alison at the net to keep the ball up. Oh, and that bounces on top of the net and out of court for Schalk.
Can you believe that play right there? Alison got his hand on just about every play, every ball at the net, and that is intimidating. It starts to play tricks on your head, and right now Schalk has to be thinking, what do I got to do to put this ball to the ground? What do I got to do to score?
Canada have called a timeout to take a break. Reconvene.
There's the roundhouse after the dig, controlled by Alison, and then Schalk tries to go around Alison, but he does it too sharp. It hits the top of the net and trickles just out of bounds, and Bruno feeling it in the backcourt there. Service aces, Brazil 3-0. And look at that, no service errors on the Brazilian side. So completely flip-flopped right there. You got to get a couple aces. Taking a look at Brazil's serving. 100% of their serves have been inbound, and 30% of the time they are scoring when they serve. That is a huge statistics, and that's why they have a 3-point edge and are up 1-0 on the other side of the net. 88% of the serves in for Canada, but they're only scoring 17% of the time when they serve.
Brazil with service. Here's Schalk on the attack for Canada, over the top of the block. Oh, look at this athleticism from the Olympic champions. And Alison is back at the net again. Oh, but the second time. Great play from Schalk, really justifying the call of the timeout. Just a minute or so to regroup, rethink things through, and Canada come out full of spirit once again.
Look at this, back flipper by Bruno, and then Alison, remember this guy, 6'8", 250 pounds, lays it out and puts the ball up in a settable position. This is just a spectacular play. Most big men wouldn't even go for that ball. Look at the sacrifice. Beautiful athleticism by Alison. And the Canadians have to be thinking, what do we have to do to get the ball to the sand?
Great play. Here's Saxton serving. Serves for the ace right down the middle. It's picked up by Alison, who now attacks for Brazil. Oh, and a great save again from Schalk. Oh, Saxton couldn't quite get the balance and find his position to pick up that dig from Schalk. Technical timeout, total of 21 points on the scoreboard.
Really difficult to get a break right now. Just out of your reach, that's my bad. Anybody wants to give away an official backpack? Who wants it?
It's frustrating, you know. Alison and Bruno are playing at such a high level right now. It's tough when you're on the other side of the net. Even if you're playing good volleyball, when these guys are playing with such confidence, coming off winning a gold medal, and it looks like they've elevated their game to an even higher level right now, and they seem hungry. Sometimes, you know, winning an Olympic gold medal, you see a let off maybe from this team. They have stepped up to another notch, and I don't know what the Canadians can do, but try to mix it up, try to get some traction, but most importantly for Canada, consistency. Keep the ball in, make Brazil earn every single point, but they do have to increase their serving pressure. The Canadians have 3 service errors and no aces so far. They have to keep going for it.
Alison there at the net, stopping the Canadian attack. Oh, and Bruno Schmidt, his partner, saw the attack coming but didn't quite get his hands to the ball in time. And coming off the back of the technical timeout, that is a very valuable point on the board for Canada. They have to win the second set to stay in the match. Alison now. Oh, over on 2. As he had us fooled and had the Canadians fooled as well. Spectacular play from Bruno Schmidt. I thought he was going to set it for his partner. He had us completely off our guard.
That's why Bruno Oscar Schmidt is so smart. Look at this. He comes in, nobody's thinking of the trick back set. They're thinking that we got to stop Alison on the outside, and Bruno says, let me get involved here. Let me get that ball to the ground. That's why he's the 2015 best offense and best defensive player on the FIVB Tour.
Saxton now on the attack for Canada. Again, the block is there from Alison. But this time, Schalk, who's got that rainbow shot over the top, totally dialed in now. And let's hope that it can go to that a little more often, because that is one of the weapons that has been most effective for Canada's point-scoring play here.
Yeah, Ben Saxton's going to have to help him out as well. Give him a good audible call, line or angle. Really keep their eye on Bruno in the backcourt.
Saxton serves Alison. Alison now looking to attack for Brazil.
Come on, come on.
He too shows the Canadians that he has a repertoire of shots to draw upon. They're expecting it to power down cross-court. Instead goes down the line, completely fooling the 2 Canadian players.
That's the thing, you can't be one-dimensional, and that's exactly what Brazil prides themselves on, mixing it up.
Hey.
Saxton challenging Alison, that time successful. But it is rare that a ball clears the net without Alison putting his stamp on it in one way or the other.
Bruno Schmidt on the attack. Well, as Dane has pointed out, he was voted the best player for defense and offense last season, and he's giving us a little bit of a demonstration as to why. Look at that for a shot. He's the smallest player on the court by quite a way, but you wouldn't think so when he's got that vertical leap and spike.
6'1" Bruno, Oscar Schmidt rips that serve.
Oh, Canada fighting for every ball. Alison had turned around and was walking back the court to serve, but the Canadians keep it up. Spectacular.
Another big block for Alison. That won't go in the stat book, but because the Canadians have covered it, and then Schalk hits that ball just on the outside of the line. There's the emotion that we need from Canada if they're going to get themselves back into this one. Continue to fight despite things not going their way so far. Now's the time to strike.
And a service error from Ben Saxton. So frustrating.
He's been missing the majority of the ball into the net. I would suggest try to miss long, because when you miss the ball into the net, well, that's close.
Yeah, I think he'll call a challenge on that day.
I think it's just out of bounds, but it was close. You know what I like about the Brazilians? They don't call challenges very often. Usually they'll get a consensus if it's close, and then they'll make their call. That one's about 3 inches long, so not even close. Surprised actually that he challenged that one. They usually get a consensus, ask the opponent, ask the ref, how close was it, and then they'll make their move.
Schalk serves to Alison. It looked to be going out, but he went for it nonetheless. And that's the way to play it. If there's any indecision, Dane is a big supporter of the tactic that if you think it may not be going out, play it. Yes. Because you can convert it, just as the Brazilians did, into a much stronger and better play and point.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing worse than watching a ball that you could pass land in the court for an ace. A little dangerous play there by Bruno. Unbalanced jump, kind of drifted into the net and ends up banging knees under the net with Ben Saxton. That's a dangerous play. Someone could get hurt. A little show of sportsmanship there, but you don't ever want to see that happening.
Go, go, no, 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 no.
Oh, well, the thought was there. No question the creativity in mind, but it didn't quite come off for Bruno Schmidt.
He hasn't been that sharp today. Usually, he is money every single shot from the opening whistle. We've seen him have about 3 or 4 unforced errors offensively so far this morning.
Well, Brazil have called the timeout, and clearly Bruno Schmidt, first of all, not happy with himself for that clash with Ben Saxton, coming at the net way too aggressively. A little mistake on his trick shot at the net. Decides it's time for a little breather.
86% the side-out percentage for the Brazilians. That's high. That's off the charts right there. The Canadians just 76%. So they need to try to make something happen now, but the Canadians, they're running out of time. Although they do have momentum, the question now, can they string a few points together and put some pressure on these Brazilians? So far, Brazil has looked comfortable, and they have really looked like they have been able to do whatever they wish out on the court. Can Canada change it up? No. Right out of bounds.
Another service error from Ben Saxton. It's starting to frustrate the 27-year-old out of Calgary now. He's most definitely been the weakest link for Canada. Saxton. Oh, what a great up from Alison. Schalk now attacks for Canada. Puts it away. Very valuable point, crucial. Canada have to win this second set to stay in the match and take it to 3. And if this point had gone the other way, I think we could have started to predict that the match was nearly over. But there is another chance for Canada here to claim this second set. There's the local hero, Schalk, with service. Set from Alison, Bruno Schmidt. Oh, that's a better shot. 19-17, a big side out for Brazil.
And leave it to Bruno to step up right there. The Canadians went to him intentionally, and he fended that off with a point. Brazil now just 2 points away from moving on to the final.
Bruno Schmidt with service. Oh, and a service ace to take Brazil to match point. Well, we were questioning at times whether Bruno Schmidt had come to this semi-final with his A game. He's certainly finishing right on top of things here. Match point. Goes for a second ace to wrap it up. Unsuccessful. It's a long shot, but Canada still have a chance. Second match point for Brazil, with Ben Saxton to serve. He has no choice to go for the service ace, but the service game of Ben Saxton has been the disappointing part to the Canadian performance here on centre court. Losing the second set 21-18. They lost the first at 21-15. The Olympic and world champions Alison and Bruno go through to the gold medal match. Canada will go up against the United States of America in the battle for bronze.
What an impressive outing for the Brazilians, especially Alison at the net. He was just incredible. He put on a clinic. Finally, the Canadians stopped hitting the ball and actually tried to challenge Bruno in the backcourt, but